Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Old School. Dave is back. Crystal Dynamics, mate. Pandemonium.
Pandemonium on the Sony PlayStation. So this game, Mike, I remember very well. Played it quite a bit in the PlayStation days all those years ago. Crystal Dynamics, a publisher that I'm also familiar with for some other games.
Same.
Yeah.
Look at this intro, man. This is bringing back Sony memories. I loved this game. What about yourself?
So did I. It's a bit of a 2.5D platformer, and I loved it because obviously you could be going straight 1 minute, but then the camera changes perspective, which changes your view, and also kind of affects how you control the character and jump and obviously move around the screen. So it's quite cool.
This was the first video game I ever saw being played on the Sony PlayStation.
This was your introduction to the PS1?
Yes.
Wow.
I went over a guy's house in between lessons at school.
Yeah.
Or lectures rather, because it was college, and there was a guy who owned a PlayStation and he was playing this, and I was blown away.
Wow.
I was absolutely blown away by it. I never owned this game. I did borrow it off this guy. Look at this intro, man. So ahead of its time.
It was excellent. And again, that would have impressed me back in the day, seeing that introduction sequence. So, here we go. Pandemonium. Only one thing to do, and that's go for
Love
it.
the music.
Yeah.
I just love the music in this game. I love it. Actually, I love everything about it.
I can switch characters, of course I can.
Yeah.
But
I can't remember their names.
There you go. Yeah, nor can I, but X to enter the level. Okay, so the controls are slightly mixed up for me, but we can play on. Not a problem.
Okay.
Here we go. Remember, you could knock that down and basically destroy that. A bit like Super Mario Brothers, you jump on top of your enemies to basically kill them.
So, mate, can you remember a few days ago we recorded the Retro Football Olympic Soccer episode?
Yeah, actually, that was
And
a really good game.
Yeah, I was saying that you could play that on the Nokia N-Gage. I was wrong. It was this. This was also available on the N-Gage.
Wow, Pandemonium got a release on the N-Gage.
Yeah, it did, mate, as well as the Sega Saturn.
The Saturn version, yeah. I'm familiar that it came out on Saturn, which was again a good version. It was a decent version of this game. But N-Gage, that's
I know,
interesting.
it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
I remember seeing it. I remember seeing it in a video rental store, or an N-Gage version of this, when the N-Gage was a thing.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you could play this on PC. There was a PC version as well.
Okay, that's interesting. And of course, there was a sequel to this game, Pandemonium 2, as well, which we saw earlier.
There was.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we saw it just as we were choosing this to play, guys, within Launchbox. I said to Dave, Pandemonium 2, because I've never played it. After we've recorded this, I'm going to give that a quick try, because I'd be interested to see, is it better than this, or?
That's, yeah, I think it is. I think it is a better game than this one. This one's good, though.
Okay.
This one is definitely worth checking out if you like your platformers from this sort of time, because it's very, very playable.
Yeah, this still looks beautiful. I love the art style. I like how it kind of like the foul 3D effect. I know it's 2D, but it gives you that. Look at this, man.
The 2.5D, yeah, the perception.
2.5D, that's a perfect way to sum it, yeah.
Perception that it gives you, yeah, as you run around the screen. I like it too. I love the graphics. I mean, yes, this is a PS1 game. Yes, this is 1996. I get that, but I like it. It's got a certain charm to it for me.
I think it still looks beautiful to this day.
Yeah, so do I. It looks really good. I mean, can you imagine if this got a bit of a remaster in 2022? That would be amazing.
On the
wouldn't it?
PS5, yes, please.
That would be absolutely amazing. But still, gameplay like this. Don't try and sort of 3D it. Make it like this.
Yeah. Maybe as an indie game or something, sort of as a 15 quid game, I'd buy it.
Yeah, I definitely would. And also, the soundtrack's pretty cool as well. It's pretty groovy on this game.
Yeah, the music's great, presentation, everything about it. It's extremely polished, and the really good polished games will always still stand up today. Whereas sometimes I go back to a PlayStation 1 game, and it can look and feel very, very rough around the edges, whereas this doesn't.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Especially the games that had like a 3D world or a 3D perspective.
Yes.
Those in particular. I mean, let's take, for example, one we might cover in the future, and I hope we do, which is Siphon Filter. That game is a 3D game, and my God, does it feel its age. You can tell it's a primitive old 3D game.
I would go as far as saying, and it's one of my favourite video games of all time. It is my favourite game on the original PlayStation. Tomb Raider 1 is ropey to play now.
It is, yeah. Tomb Raider 1, it's definitely showing its age, especially when you've played the more modern titles, where everything's silky smooth, the controls all make sense, they're all nice and responsive. Tomb Raider was clunky when you think about it. At the time, it was impressive, but it was clunky.
Yeah, whereas, I mean, people will argue this is more simplistic. It's left, it's right, it's jump.
Yeah.
And like you say, it's got the trick, if you like, the 2.5D trick that it's playing, whereas Tomb Raider was far more ambitious with more depth to its gameplay design and mechanics.
Yeah.
But it doesn't change the fact that I'd still have more fun playing this now than I will have playing Tomb Raider on the PlayStation.
Completely agree. And I'm sure you'll agree with me on this one, Mike, I'd have no problems recommending to somebody to give this a go if they were thinking PlayStation platformer. Yeah, you could say Crash, because Crash Bandicoot was excellent, and that's also still very, very playable
I prefer
today.
this.
But this...
It's controversial. I prefer this game to Crash.
This game is excellent, and I would have no trouble telling someone, play this if you're interested in PlayStation platformers.
I did back in the day, mate, when around this time, I preferred this game to Crash. I always have done. It's one of my favourite platformers on the PlayStation, if not my favourite, actually.
It's really, really good. It's really, really good. And I know there's not the puzzle element, which there was, remember, Trying 2, but it reminds me a touch of Trying 2 to a degree.
Yeah, it's got that vibe and the atmosphere of Trying 2, especially the music and that kind of thing, the setting, the world. Yeah. But we wanted to feature this on there, guys. Pandemonium, one of the more obvious titles, I guess. I wouldn't say this is obscure, because it was, loads of people knew about this game, but we might feature the sequel as well at some point, so keep an eye out for that. But that's Pandemonium on the Sony PlayStation. Speak to you soon, guys.